Thank you very much to welcome you for Mason African Motives, whereby we are going to do term 2 revision accounting grade 12. We're going to do term 2 revision grade 12 under manufacturing and or cost accounting, manufacturing or cost accounting. So one can ask, what is this manufacturing or cost accounting? So manufacturing refers to the process of analyzing, tracking, and reporting of the cost associated with the reducing goods or services. That's what it means. So now, moving on to the activity 2 that we're going to do, 2.1, we are told that wooden manufacturers, that we are going to deal with wooden manufacturers. So the business manufacturers blankets and the financial year, which is very important, is 30 June 2019. So what is required is that we have to calculate direct material cost. What is this direct material cost? Direct material cost, those are the cost of raw materials directly used in the production. Those are the cost of material directly used in the production. 2.12, we are asked to complete the factory overhead cost. What are the factory overhead costs? Factory overhead costs are the indirect costs associated with the running of the factory, where we can talk about cleaning, maintenance, wages and salaries. Those are the indirect costs. Also, 2.13, we are asked to prepare the production cost statement on 30 June 2019. Production cost statement, that is, it summarizes the cost of production, whereby now we can say direct material cost plus direct labor cost plus factory overhead cost. All in all, we make what? Production cost statement. So the information A is stock on hand, and we are told that is work in progress. They are unfinished goods. That is unfinished. So now let's go and see the information that is related with direct material cost. So now we are moving on and see how we are going to calculate direct material cost. Direct material cost. So we are on information B. You can see clearly where it's written raw materials in fabric. So we are having raw materials. So this is the information that is going to help us to calculate direct material cost, because it talks about the raw materials. So we have the opening stock of 72,500, as well as the purchases of 1,618,300. So it means that is when you add the 24 August 2018 purchases with 15 December 2018 purchases, as well as 26 June 2019. So all in all, they add up to 1,618,300. We also have what? The returns. We also have the returns, which we are going to subtract, because these are purchases return. Our customers return the goods, maybe because of the fault, because of the defects, problems that our products were having. Also, we are having the remaining stock, which is our closing stock at the end of our financial year, of which as well we are going to subtract them when we calculate our direct material cost. These amounts are going to be subtracted from our opening stock as well as purchases. So now let's go straight to the answer book and see how we are going to record them. And see how we are going to record them. So here is our answer book, table 2. We were asked to calculate direct material cost. Direct material cost. So we are first going to have opening stock. We are first going to have opening stock. So the amount for opening stock is 72,500. 72,500. We also have purchases. So now we are to add purchases, which is 1,618,300. 1,618,300. So now we have purchases returns, which we are to subtract. So our purchases return is 17,000. So we put them in brackets to show that you're going to subtract it. So we also have the closing stock. Closing stock, which is to be subtracted as well, 52,700. So now we want to know the balance at the end of the balance at the end of the year. At the end of the year. So the balance at the end of the year, whereby we're going to add our purchase to our opening stock, and then we're going to subtract the returns as well as closing stock. So it will give us 1,621,100. So this is our direct material cost. This is how simple we can calculate it. So now we are moving on to 2.2, where we are asked to calculate factory overheads note. So it's simple say, let's go to the information that relates with the factory overheads. Let's go to the information that relates with factory overheads. As we know, those are the indirect costs that are associated with the running of the business. So as we come to C, you can see where it's written the following items were calculated before the adjustment below. So we are given direct labor cost, of which is not the indirect cost. So it means it has nothing to do with what? Our factory overhead cost. So we have factory overhead cost, which is a total before the adjustment, as we are told this were before the adjustment. So this one is going to affect our factory overhead cost note. So now we also have what? The cleaning materials. Cleaning materials as well to affect our factory overhead cost note. Also, water and electricity, they do affect as well as the rent expense. So when we move on, there are adjustments there below, where we are told that the factory used twice as much cleaning materials as the sales department. So meaning to say, we are going to calculate our cleaning materials as it is our adjustment. So it is said the factory used twice as much as cleaning material as the sales department. It means we don't know our sales department. So our sales department is going to be represented by 1, as we don't know. Or we can say it's going to be represented by X. Then you're going to do X plus our 2, which is 2X. Then it will give us 3X. That is when we can say, now we are going to say how we are going to calculate it. This simply means that our sales department is 1 plus 3. So meaning to say, we are going to say 28,800 multiply by 3 out of 2, which will give us 19,200. So this is how simple we are going to calculate it. As we are told that the factory used twice as much cleaning material. That is the ratio that they gave us. So we don't know our X, we don't know our sales department. That is why it's represented by X. So it becomes 1 plus 2, which is 3. So it means you're going to say 28,800 multiplied by 3 out of 2. Then it will give us 19,200. Now let's move on to another adjustment, which is going to affect our water electricity. They are saying 75% of water electricity are related to the factory. 75% of water electricity, they are related to the factory. So the balance is used by the sales and administration departments. So we are going to say 75% multiplied by 46,000, which is going to be and multiply 75% by 46,000. Now it will give us 34,500. It will give us 34,500 is the amount for water and electricity. Now coming to the rent. Rent was not increased during the current financial year. Rent for June has not yet been paid. Rent for June has not yet been paid. So it means that the rent was paid for 11 months. If the last month was not paid, to make it 12 months, it means the rent was paid for 11 months. So now we are also told the rent is allocated according to the floor space in the ratio of 3:1:2 for the factory. Also sales department and office respectively. So now we know the amount for our rent, which is 126,500. That is that. So we want to know how we are going to multiply it. So now we are going to say 126,500 divided by 11 months. The 11 months, because we have said the rent for June 2019 has not yet been paid. This is outstanding. So when we divide the 126,500 by 11, it's going to give us 11,500. It's going to give us 11,500. Then we are going to multiply our 11,500 with multiply by 3 out of 6. We're going to multiply it by 3 out of 6 for our rent. We multiply it by 3 out of 6 because we were given this ratio whereby it says 3:1:2. So then we are going to be able to get the amount for rent, which is going to amount to 69,000. Now it will give us what? 69,000. So let's go and record them in the answer book. Let's go and record them in the answer book. So here is our answer book for factory overhead cost. Factory overhead cost. Remember, we were told that we have a total before adjustment of factory overhead. Total before adjustment. Total before adjustment of 536,000. 536,025. So this is our total before adjustment. So now we are going to have what? Cleaning material, which we calculated. Which we did calculate it. Cleaning material. You remember what cleaning materials is 28,800 multiplied by 2 out of 3. So which is going to give us 19,200. Now we also have what? Water and electricity. Water and electricity. So as we have calculated the water and electricity, which is 75% of 46,000, which is going to give us 34,400. 34,500, sorry. So that is that. We also have what? We also have rent that we calculated. We also have rent expenses. So our rent expenses is going to be 69,000 as we calculated. 69,000. So now we are going to go to the wages. There are wages that we were given. There are wages that we were given. As we were told that fabrics foremen as well as the cleaning staff. So number of employees under fabrics foremen is 1. The basic salary or wage per employee is 15,200 per month. The annual bonus is 13th month salary paid in December. Under cleaning, we have 3 staff which are paid 975 per week, paid for the whole year. Then their annual bonus is 20% of their basic wage. Their basic wage. So now we first have to start by fabrics foreman. So as we are going to talk about the fabrics foreman, whereby we are told that it's only 1 employee who is going to pay, whose salary is 15,200 per month. And also there is a bonus on the 30th month of salary paid in December. So now we are going to work on using this information that we are given. So now let's go straight to the answer book and then try to see how we are going to work it out. And see how we are going to work it out. So here we are, where we are to calculate our wages. Where we are to calculate factory foreman salary. The salary of a factory foreman. So we want to know the salary of the factory foreman. So what we are going to do, we are told that monthly is 15,200 a month. So now we want to know in a year, so it means you're going to multiply by 12 and as well as add 15,200 again. Why we are doing that is because we are told that there is a 13th month of what? Of the bonus. We're told that there is a 13th month of the bonus. So we are going to work it that way, which is going to equals to 197,600. 197,600. So that is the salary for a foreman. Also, we have wages. Also, we have what we call wages. Or we have wages that we're told about for the fabrics. So, under wages, we are going to calculate it this way. We are going to calculate the wages for our cleaning staff. Wages for our cleaning staff. So as we were told that our cleaning staff, our staff who are going to clean are how many? There are 3. We're told that they are 3, and they are going to get they're going to get 975 per week, which is paid for the whole year. So what we are going to do here is that we are going to say they are how many? They are 3. So meaning to say we are going to say 975 multiplied by 3 because they are 3. Also multiply by 52 because there are 52 weeks in a year. Get that straight. There are 52 weeks in a year. So this will give us, this will amount to 152, 100. 152, 100. Then we are going to say plus. We are going to say plus 20% that we're told of what? Of bonus. We're told about 20% of the basic wage and the bonus. So we're going to say 20%. I'm going to say 20% times 15200 times multiply by our basic wage now. 15200 times 15200, which is our basic wage. Because we're told 20% is going to be on our basic wage. So we calculated our basic wage, which is 152,100. So we are going to say 20% of this our basic wage, which is 152,100. Then it will give us the amount, which is 30,420. It's going to give us 30,420. Then we're going to add 30,420 to 152,100, and that will be amount for our wages, which is going to be 182,520. 182,520. So now we are to add them all so that they can give us the total. So that they can give us the total, which is going to amount to 1,138,845. It's going to amount to 1,845. So it's going to amount to 1,38,845. So this is how we calculate the factory overhead cost. This is, so pay attention to the adjustment. So pay attention to the adjustment when you do the factory overhead, where there are adjustments, make sure that you're going to pay more attention to them and then try to treat them as expected. So now we are going to move on to production cost statement. As we were asked to calculate production cost statement, we were asked to prepare production cost statement on 30 June 2019. So now we are going to the information that relates to production cost statement. So with this one, we are first going to do what? When we calculate the production cost statement, remember we have said this is the summary of costs. This is the summary of cost of production, where we're going to talk about direct material cost, direct labor cost, as well as factory overhead cost. So now we are given, we already have what? Direct labor, that is given. We have direct labor on our answer sheet, but direct material cost. Now we are to direct material cost. We did calculate, we did know, we now know how much is our direct material cost. So our direct material cost is this amount that we calculated first. This is our direct material cost, which is 162,100. So it means now we are going to enter our 1,621,100. 1,621,100, which is our direct material cost, which we calculated. So it is 1,621,100. So that is our direct material cost. So when we add direct material cost to direct labor, it is going to give us what we call the prime cost. So when we add the two, they are going to give us the prime cost, which is going to be 2,086,100. So it's going to give us 2,086,100. That is 2,086,100. So when you add direct material plus direct labor, it's called the prime cost. So that is that. Remember, we have said that for us to do production cost statement, that is the summary of direct material, direct labor, and as well as factory overhead cost. So now we are moving on. Now we are going to add what? Our factory overhead cost. Factory overhead cost. Factory overhead cost. Remember, we did the factory overhead cost note, which did give us what? How much? 1,038,845, which is this one. 1,038,845. So this is our factory overhead cost. So now we want to know the total cost of production. Total cost of production. So the total cost of production, so that is when you add direct material cost, direct labor, as well as factory overhead cost. Remember, we added direct material, direct labor, then they give us prime cost. So we are going to add this amount for prime cost with the factory overheads. Then they will give us what we call total cost production. They will give us total cost production, which is going to be 3,124,945. It's going to be 3,124,945. So this is our total cost production. Now we move on. So we have work in progress. Work in progress at the beginning of the year. So one can ask, where do we get this work in progress at the beginning of the year? It's very important to know where we take that amount from. This is under the information A, stock on hand. This is our work in progress at the beginning of the year. Remember, we don't know at the end of the year. So we are going to take that amount, 121,410. So now we are going to, it is also, as it is also given, is there as it is given. So we take it from that, from the information A that was given. So now we are going to add it we're going to add it to total cost of production. So when you add these two, they will give you 3,306,355. They will give you 3,306,355. That is what they will give. So we don't know the amount for work in progress at the end. Work in process at the end. Process at the end. At the end. So this one, you don't know it. So for us to know it, you are going to use what? The balancing figure. So now let's come to the cost of production of finished goods and see how we are going to calculate it so that it will enable us to calculate the work in progress at the end, as we are not given the information on work in progress at the end. It is a question mark, if you can remember. So let's go to the information that will give us cost of production of finished goods. Cost of production of finished goods. So here we are. When we are to calculate cost of production for finished goods, we are given the information here where it says the business produced 12,950 blankets at the unit cost of 245. So all what you are going to do, we are going to say 12,950 multiplied by the unit price, which is 245. That's how we are going to do, which is going to give us 3,172,750. It's going to give us 3,172,750. This is the amount for our cost of production. Cost of production of finished goods, because this is, as we are told, the business produced this much at the unit cost of this much. So this is how we are to calculate it. So now we are going to our answer book, and then we are to make sure that we write the amount for cost of production of finished goods, which is 3,172,750. So now we are to calculate what? Work in progress. That is why I've said you're going to use what? The balancing figure. We are going to use what? The balancing figure for us to get work in progress. We are going to say cost of production of finished goods minus this amount that we get when we added it. When we add the total cost of production to work in progress. So it means you're going to say this amount minus that, then they will give us the amount for work in progress at the end of the year, of which is going to be 133,000. 133,605. So this is how it goes, because the work in progress at the end of the year, we always subtract it. We always subtract it. So when you subtract work in progress from this amount, then it will give us what cost of production of finished goods. So this is how we are to do production cost statement. This is how we are to do what production cost statement. Hope we are still on one page. We are following. We are getting what is going on. So this is how we expected to do direct material cost, factory overhead, as well as production statement. So as production statement. So by saying this, I want to say thank you very much for your time. Make sure that you're going to hit the subscription button and you're going to share with those who are concerned. So this is the end of activity 2.1. So we'll move on to 2.2 later on. Thank you very much. Thank you.